One day Hermes, after reflecting on the origin of things, fell asleep. A dull torpor took possession of his body, but in proportion as the latter grew benumbed, his spirit ascended into space. Then an immense being, of indeterminate form, seemed to call him by name. "Who art thou?" said the terrified Hermes. "I am Poimandres, the sovereign intelligence, who is able to unveil all things. What desirest thou?" "To behold the source of beings, O divine Poimandres, and to know God." "Thou shalt be satisfied." Immediately Hermes felt himself plunged in a delicious light. In its pellucid billows passed the ravishing forms of all beings. Suddenly, a terrifying encircling darkness descended upon him. Hermes was in a humid chaos filled with smoke and with a heavy rumbling sound. Then a voice rose from the abyss, the cry of light. At once a quick leaping flame darted forth from the humid depths, reaching to the ethereal heights. Hermes ascended with it, and found himself again in the expanse of space. Order began to clear up chaos in the abyss. Choruses of constellations spread above his head, and the voice of light filled infinity. "Dost thou understand what thou hast seen?" said Poimandres to Hermes. "Bound down in his dream and suspended between heaven and earth?" "No," said Hermes. "Thou wilt now learn. Thou hast just seen what exists from all eternity. The light thou didst first see is the divine intelligence, which contains all things in potentiality, enclosing the models of all beings. The darkness in which thou wast afterwards plunged is the material world on which the men of earth live. But the fire thou didst behold shooting forth from the depths is the divine Word. God is the Father, the Word is the Son, and their union is life." "What marvelous sense has opened out to me?" asked Hermes. "I no longer see with the eyes of the body, but with those of the spirit. How has that come to pass?" "Child of dust," replied Poimandres, "it is because the Word is in thee. That in thee which hears, sees, and acts is the Word itself, the sacred fire, the creative utterance. Since things are so," said Hermes, "grant that I may see the light of the worlds, the path of souls, from which man comes and to which he returns. Be it done according to thy desire." Hermes became heavier than a stone, and fell through space like a meteorite. Finally he reached the summit of a mountain. It was night, the earth was gloomy and deserted, and his limbs seemed as heavy as iron. "Raise thine eyes and look," said the voice of Poimandres. Then Hermes saw a wonderful sight. The starry heavens stretching through infinite space enveloped him with 7 luminous spheres. In one glance Hermes saw the 7 heavens stretching above his head, tier upon tier, like 7 transparent and concentric globes, the sidereal center of which he now occupied. The Milky Way formed the girdle of the last. In each sphere there rolled a planet accompanied by a genius, of different form, sign, and light. Hermes, dazzled by the sight, was contemplating their widespread efflorescence and majestic movements.